They discovered the secret pathway in, it would seem.
They have. So not only secret passwords, but secret pathways.
Right?
Right. Now,
So
we have
we're going
the
to
last
be
few
doing
pieces.
the last 4
We
people. And
are.
did you send them there and put it in the classroom so everybody can follow along?
Oh, I think it's all on. It went all onto WhatsApp. I think I should put it in the classroom, shouldn't I? Bit
Probably.
daft.
Yeah.
Let's
Yeah.
find a pen. Oh, see if I can do that now. Yeah, actually, it's all on Cyber Poet. Where are we? If I can.
Overlord says definitely a pre-party and the SSPP chat is the after party. You're just looking forward to hearing Harry sing while I sit there and just grin big. Grin big.
Right. I wonder if I can do all these in one go. Might be able to.
Leslie says, hola, still in party mode. Hello, Leslie. Casper says, viva la after party. And Harry says, Angelique, can you not see our pre-chat up there? No. Do you have a pre-chat about the party? What did y'all say in pre-chat? Hi, Carrie. What did y'all say? I had no idea that y'all could even come on because y'all shouldn't have been able to see us because I had not went live yet. Hi, Tommy. Y'all were having drinks and dancing? Oh, that. I did see the dancing, but I don't know how y'all were still. So, how did y'all get in? Did y'all not leave? Is that what happened? Did y'all not leave? And so it
Possibly.
just.
Right.
It's a waiting room. We couldn't see you. We were just in the chat. We didn't.
Just in there.
Oh, so y'all couldn't see us and y'all couldn't hear us? That's good to know. So does that mean whenever I end this and I go to start doing another one, that if you stay in the room, that you'll just continue over into the next video? Yes, I just said waiting for you. Oh, interesting. I did not know that that happened. So that's good to know. Overlord says no, it comes up as an upcoming live. No, we couldn't see you until you turned your camera on, but y'all could be typing though. That's so interesting. We can talk all about you. Yeah, and I can't see it. Don't y'all feel good? We just have to click on the waiting. I didn't know that existed, so I've just learned something new tonight. Thank you. It just means I'm late. Thank you, Overlord. Just dig into the pet peeves. Just dig into them. Yes. No, we got to go into it. Yeah. So we will be starting. One might get some up in the classroom, and so excludes fans only chat. Exclusive fans only chat. Yes. Oh, does that mean y'all are fans? I feel so special. Are y'all fans of me or Mike or both of us? And they're like, no, we're here for Mike. Go away, Angelique. Go away. I don't see a lot of red dots. Oh, wait a minute. There they come up. Never mind. I was looking at the wrong ones. I was like, oh, people did better. People did great. It's like, nope, here come the red dots.
Right. I've got into the classroom, but unfortunately, they're the ones without the dots because the ones with the dots were done in WhatsApp. Can we? Can we move those across?
Well, if you did it in WhatsApp, it should be saved on your computer or phone somewhere, right? So that you can just send the file into Instagram. Because they couldn't have been made in WhatsApp, right? Or did you make them in WhatsApp?
No, I made them in Canva, put them onto WhatsApp, and then use WhatsApp to edit them and dot them.
Oh, you would have to save them. You'd have to save each one individually and then use the save file to send to Instagram.
Right.
We are respectful fans. Definitely fans, just not the only fan. That's what I was
Right.
thinking, Kelsey, when he said that. Harry said only respectable fans here.
Yeah, of course.
Can we have some dingy fans, some fans that have seen better days and they just want to be taken home and partied up? I mean, those are some pretty cool fans to come across when you're out and about garage selling. Overlord says, would you like me to move them? Would you like Overlord to move them so we can get started, Mike?
Oh, yes, brilliant. I'm trying to get them over. Oh, can you get into them?
Yes, the Overlord's
Over.
in the folder as well.
Oh,
It's you, me, and the Overlord.
right. Okay, brilliant. If you can get into them, that's excellent. That would certainly be handy. With Richard, no more half measures first, because he wrote a brilliant poem, but it's not a Toddaid. No, it's not a Toddaid.
So it's not dotted at all, right?
No, no.
Okay.
So, where are
So
we?
do you want to read it?
So, yeah, so I'll read it. So, because we have this irregular syllable length, we've got like 10, 8, 9, 8, 6, 6, 9, 7, 7, 5, 8, 8, 9, 10, 11. Those in German, which we were talking about the other night, we couldn't for a life of us think of something. So anyway, we've got abominable Cyberman made curse, bound forever in verse enwrapped, metal can, permanent penance for crime-filled passion, living off bite-sized ration, endless rhyme, tortured penance, now part machine, some me, prisoned poetry, bleeds this metal heart, random access memory, saves pain's thoughts, long lost freedom, distorts remorse's wave, forgives sinful mortal lack, lust approves, robot heaven knows as I fade black, artificial life displays ice-like soul, dice's final roll, please turn off this device. So it's an interesting piece, and it's a machine being part man, part machine, being reflective and really asking to be terminated.
Yeah, it's a gorgeous poem.
Yeah, it is a brilliant poem. Yeah, that's right. Um, yeah, it's a lot of poem. It needs to be read, but it wasn't to the Toddaid form. But good, brilliant poem anyway.
Yeah, and the reason it's not to the Toddaid form is because the censura, even though he uses censuras, he doesn't use them in the correct
No,
places or the correct ways. The line count, I mean, the syllable count is completely off in almost all of the rhymes, and the rhyme
yeah,
is
it's,
off. It's
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 off.
just not a Toddaid.
No,
Yeah,
it's not a Toddaid. It is a great poem, and it's very interesting. And there was some cross rhyme in there,
there
and some
is.
other bits and pieces. And there's a load of enjambment in there, but it's not a Toddaid poem. But it's a lovely
Yeah,
poem.
it is gorgeous poem.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's impossible to break down as far as is it a Toddaid or not because,
yeah. Now, shall we talk of the next villain in the room?
but it's really
Which
good
is
though.
yeah, it's really good. Shall we talk about the next villain in the room, which is VJ?
Yes.
VJ wrote 6 lines. He didn't do 2 quatrains. He did 6 lines. Not quite sure why. There is a 6 line
They
Toddaid.
I think they did a quatrain and a couplet is how they
Yeah, yeah,
or
but
that's how it is on here.
yeah, but yes, all right. But the Toddaid is
I know.
quatrains. It's couplets, but in quatrains. There is a 6 line Toddaid, and that is the Toddaid here. But the first 4 lines are 10 syllables with an A rhyme. Then the couplet is an A rhyme 10 syllable ending with a 9 with a B. But
I
yeah,
remember that one. Yeah.
yeah, that's right. But brilliant anyway. And it's still an
It,
interesting one. It's still an interesting piece all the same. And I thought, VJ, you villain, you. So we have cyber poets of the future, beware. Best take care, we are a strong culture. We live in books, bleeding cursively inked. We are blinked from existence dreaming. Sailing stanzas swirling in threads, darkened, written unburdened, but never dead. And going across, we've got beware care and future culture, and ink blinked. And then we went a wee bit wrong with because we had cursive Lee, so we end up with a Lee as the
yeah,
rhyming
you can't
Lee.
do that.
So it didn't quite, but it's pretty much, but it didn't quite
We
gel
broke the
there.
censor.
It did, yes, that's right, and it ended up in the pause. And then we have oh yeah, ink blink. That's what I said. And then we have the couplet, um, which was darkened, burdened, and threads dead. So yeah, cool.
Yeah, I believe a lot of the dots are for half are you're marking them because they're half rhyme when they should be full rhyme.
They are, yes, right, yeah. They read well, but
They read
where the
well,
full
yeah.
rhyme is, they're often half rhyme. So I think we've covered that quite well, really, on when we've been
Yes.
speaking about them. So and sometimes where the half rhyme is, we've got full rhyme, and then the other way around. But
But it is like Cal says, it is a gorgeous poem. It
it
is.
is
It's
a
a
gorgeous
beautiful
poem,
poem.
yeah. Because, like we said, all these have been written beautifully, and they're lovely to read. And all
They
we're
are.
doing now really is saying this was not in quite the right place, or that wasn't quite in the place. Um,
And
but it's
this
a
is
good way.
probably sorry, go ahead.
Sorry, yeah, like I say, it's a good way of going through these, and yeah, because they do read lovely. They read well, really well.
They do. And this is probably a good time to remind and point out in case somebody hasn't quite gotten it yet. When it comes to what Mike calls the knitting patterns, if it's a capital in like the,
Yeah,
the lowercase x's mean it's syllables. No rhyme. That's just syllables in the line. But if it's a capital letter, that means it's a full rhyme. And if it's a lowercase letter, that means it's a half
it's a
rhyme.
half rhyme.
So you can't use the half rhymes on the full rhymes, and preferably not vice versa.
No, yes,
Right.
that's right. Because once you've mastered that, then all those lovely syllables shouldn't be wasted, because then we can start messing around with other little devices. But it's best to get the basic main rhyme and the secondary rhyme, and then you can move on to playing with the
Build
other ones.
around it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So shall we do the first of Ash's pieces?
Sure.
Now, oh, I've got a big load of forgiveness here because she's brought in Enheduanna into the poem. And why not? I think it's brilliant because
Right.
she was an Arcadian princess, and although she wasn't the first person to write or the first poet or the first writer, she actually put a name to it, and she wrote in the first person, which is very unusual. So I
Yes.
mean, yeah, she must have been very privileged and very brave, I think. So yeah, that's
I think
great.
there's isn't there a movie about her
Oh,
discussing
I don't
that?
know.
I
Might
think
be, I don't know.
I think I remember seeing it many years ago. It was a sad movie,
Yeah.
but
I think there were harsh times, but
yeah.
and because she was made the priestess of the, I think it was the Moon Temple, and she was the priestess of the goddess there, and she had this. ethereal affair with comes the main deity, Inanna, the main deity there. So it was a female love affair way back,
Well,
but
that
it
happens a lot.
was absolutely. But it was on an ethereal level, but
Yeah,
also on a strangely physical level as well. Even though it was with a deity,
right.
very very yes. Anyway, a fascinating character,
It is
and
a fascinating
oh
character.
yeah, and the
And I
fact
love
that
the way Ash brings these things into her
oh
writing.
yeah, and the fact it ends up with 9 syllables, I think we can forgive that just by
Yeah.
putting Johanna in there. Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, because it ended with 11 syllables instead of 10.
Because that stretched it just that one too many, but fantastic.
Right.
Yeah,
And Leslie is saying, I do not think of rhyme this way. Language needs to be respected in the form, and to do so, the poet's voice is extremely curtailed. I need to find simple words to make the complete rhyme. Yeah,
great.
yeah.
Yeah. Often when you're doing sonnet poetry and other poetry like that, keep to simple words. The more complicated, the more you knock the rhyme out, um, the singing rhyme out, and you can get far more complicated. So,
I
yeah,
find it depends. I think you can use some of the longer words. It just depends on how they sound, what the
and
rhythm of them is, where
where you
they
put
are.
them.
Yeah.
Yeah, begin and end with simple words because
Yes.
it helps you carry forward. Um, right, so the first of Ashes, built after deconstruction, something. It was not of a king's instruction. All men have fallen first to last, save one. Flesh and blood woman unlocks the past, harvesting Henjuana's words by force. Daisyless discourse ignoring birds. All of our secrets brought from birth and how they can clone us now, but not our worth.
It's a gorgeous poem
A gorgeous poem. It is absolutely it's a lovely
with
poem.
intense meaning.
Very much so. And I think, yeah, you can delve into that because it's a very, it's, boy, it's a, yeah. I mean, where we've got men has fallen, but we're talking about women here rising up and taking the
Yes.
lead. I think it's brilliant. Very, very clever.
But it's also interesting because they say, because even though it's talking about all men have fallen, she also says in that second line, it was not of a king's
No,
instruction. So it's women.
women, exactly that.
Women did that.
It was
Yeah.
totally, yeah, it was totally twisted through with, yeah, with female dominance. And
Yes,
but then, if we're looking back towards that time, there was a lot of female power about.
there was.
It's a lot of women
There
lost
wasn't
that
the
power.
fear that came up
No,
in the
no,
different, yeah. There
no.
was a
Unfortunately,
respect.
that conversation for another time, another channel. Right. So
Not sure,
what
yeah.
happened there? So yeah, we have something and king for the B rhyme, and we have deconstruction and instruction on the A rhyme. Um, and then we have an interesting B rhyme where we have one linked with woman, and yeah, it does work. When you're reading it, it works.
Well, because you can move it between the 3 and the 5, even
Yeah,
though we have it on the end, I believe 1 in "wum," she probably wrote it to be hitting on the "wa" part.
you probably yes, exactly that, and that's what was going on. I'm thinking it's it's a nice, it's a slide rhyme. It's a really is
Yeah,
a
it is.
slide rhyme,
It is.
and then we have last and past,
Yes, which is why is
which is
last and past bad?
yeah,
But why is that marked? I don't understand. Last and past would be a full rhyme, at least in
uh,
the US.
yes, yeah, and it's
Oh,
if we're
okay.
looking, yeah, we have a full rhyme. We have last and past, and that's good.
Oh, well,
last past.
it's dotted. That's why I was asking because you
Oh
have
no,
it
I was
dotted.
just highlighting where the rhymes are. Sorry. Yeah,
Oh,
it's not that they're wrong. It's just that's where they are. So if they are wrong, you can see it clearly if they're right or wrong. No other reason than that.
oh. Well, see, in the other ones, we only dotted what was wrong. So
I
you're
did,
looking.
but I thought because I had to be quick. I thought if I dot all where the rhyme should be, we can see it's clearly see if they're right or wrong.
We should probably tell people that all the dots are not wrong.
Not that's right. They're not wrong. No, they are just highlighting where they are or should be. So you can
Okay.
clearly see. Yeah, if you
We'll
read
need
them
to
and they're wrong,
clarify that.
they're wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Leslie says, I adore the power that emanated from this poem, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I loved it. Um, so the next part we have words and birds, and we have force and discourse.
All
So
good.
all good. And then we have birth and worth, and how and now.
Not a half rhyme, but
Not a half
sounds
rhyme,
good.
but it flows beautifully.
Yeah,
So yeah, and it rhymes. So and we're going on how correct or
sounds.
incorrect, but also how it sounds. Wait, then my dots are
Leslie
mixed.
says, no, your dots are not. On yours, he
Yeah,
did everything that was wrong. So that's
yeah,
why this was throwing me off.
yeah.
So
That's right.
your red dots are true red dots.
Yes, but with this one because I had to do it quickly because it was messing around. I thought if I just highlight where they all are, and we're away. But anyway, beautiful poem, and yeah, and I say yeah, we can forgive you the additional syllable because of bringing such beautiful detail in. And that, yeah,
Right.
right. So we have Melrose poetry. I'm working on my dots. Helpful.
I was saying hi, yeah, to
Yeah.
Harry. Yes,
Yes, Harry.
there
It's
is.
good.
So what does the one mean?
The one.
You have a one on the side of the page? A big red hot pink line?
Oh, that's clumsy finger. It's not really a one. That's just me being, it's too late to take it out now, otherwise I'll wipe out all my dots. So it's not there. That doesn't mean anything. So we have cyber poets seeking buried treasure, filled with rushed rapture, AIs hurried, robotic words never ringing, no soul, outraged console steady lagging. That was an 8 syllable line. Pop goes the weasel suddenly alive. Bourgeoisie contrive it's meant to be. I love the word bourgeoisie as well. Left a jack in the box out of control. Technology stole all the world docs. Infinite is always within arm's reach. Victims of a breach much too often. Criminals that dip into a writer's mind. So the curse is coming, the poem's coming to writers. That's the problem with that one. So you end up with right, then a gap into his mind. And that was an 11 syllable um, line. And then the destructive kind was quite a quip. Murderous impersonations, DMs, virtuous victims' dark liaison, and laying waste to the pen's process, it falls. There's nothing that calls or will impress. Desperately seeking any sparkle, you are not mortal and you're stealing. Cyber poets, they cannot look within, weak source of jargon without a hook.
Did you not get it yesterday, Harry? Whenever I sent it to you, did it not go through? Because I sent everybody's
Yeah.
yesterday to them in DM about 30 minutes before the class started.
So on the first stanza, we have treasure and rapture as the B rhyme, and buried and hurried as the A rhyme. All good there? Then the second couplet, we have soul and console as the B rhyme, and ringing and lagging as the A rhyme. But we did have an 8-syllable line there. So
Yes. And they must be 10, 9, 10, 9, 10,
10, 9,
9
10, yeah,
syllables.
really. And then follow on, we have alive and contrive for the B. And then we go a bit wrong on the A rhyme because we have suddenly and meant to be. So it went a bit awry there on
Right.
that one. And then controlled and stole as a B rhyme. And then again, I know what she's gone for. She's gone for box and docks, but it's
The
too far
sound.
back. Yeah,
Mm.
it's too far back. So yeah, you can see exactly what she was aiming for, which is
She forgot that that first line, it's got to be on the 8
it's a
instead of, and,
static.
and it's hard when you're looking at them and once you get so far down, like I find I really have to, when I'm doing these, I literally make a list of words that I'm going to
Yeah,
use and I put them in the position that they need to be because if I don't, as I go, I'll start mixing up where the 8 syllable goes and the 3 to 5 syllable.
yeah,
It's easy, I think, to start
it is.
misplacing them.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, definitely. We've all done it, and we'll always continue to do it.
Yeah.
And then it's when you publish it, you know, you think, oh, that's wrong. I've done it wrong. Reach and breach, and again we dip out on within and often, so it's not quite right.
Right.
And then we go right here because again I know what she's doing, but we've got mind and kind, which work beautifully. But then we've got dip and quip. Well, dip is 1, 2, 3, 4. It's sort of 4 or 5 syllables back from the eighth. So we've
And
got
we also broke the censor.
and broke the censor by having writers. So we broke the censor. So I will go over these again and dip and mark and highlight those little marks. But I just need to get this done so we could get on
Yeah,
live and
I
discuss them.
understand. And
Yeah,
so anybody who isn't aware, who wasn't on the other one and doesn't know what a censor is, if there's a censor in the form, you can't divide a word with the censor.
no,
Your full words have to be on either side of it.
yeah, it goes horribly wrong if you do. And then because she actually did quite a few stanzas, did Val. So the next one we had. It's interesting. She used it after the censor. She used DMs, which was an interesting way of doing that. So we end up with um, M's and victims. So we got
What?
Tim's and M's. So yeah, it works. And we have impersonation and liaison. So again, it's close.
Yeah,
Not
it's
quite.
not a
It's not.
full
It's not
run.
quite. It's not quite a full A rhyme,
Yeah.
but yeah, but it does flow. But it's not really quite an A rhyme. Then we move on to fools and calls and process and impress. So we're back online there. And then in the final stanza, we have sparkle and mortal. So for a B rhyme, I think it's a wee bit tenuous. And
It's cheeky.
Um,
It's
it's, it's,
cheeky.
it's cheeky. It's cheeky. It reads well, but when you're looking at it, it's cheeky. And then again, we've gone the hiccup where we've gone back because I can see she's meaning seeking and stealing. It's got the in rhyme as the A rhyme,
Yeah.
but because it's back on the 7th syllable rather than the 8th syllable, so it's just clipped out a bit.
Right.
And then she's done an interesting one as well. She's got within and jargon. Not really. I don't think it really clicks. Not even tried every which way, but
Yeah.
it doesn't. Yeah, and look and hook, which yeah, they do. They work well.
In fairness, I agree with you on it just because of how I speak, but I know where she lives, and it is very possible that instead of saying jargon,
Yeah,
that where she lives, many people might say jargon.
yeah,
It's a
that's
southern
right.
thing.
Again, it's what we
It could be a
discussed
rhyme for her,
for
jargon.
her. Yeah, that's right.
Yes.
Within jargon, yeah, jargon. Yeah, so if they pronounce that way, then yeah,
Yeah.
I could see what she's quite getting at, but it just it's a wee bit squeaky.
Yeah, I think and she lets people know that she's in Florida, so I think Florida, she could be saying jargon
Yeah,
instead of jargon.
yeah,
Yeah, because a lot
yep.
of people do. People here say it. Where I live, jargon is more likely to be heard than the other.
Than the other one.
Yeah,
But again, a brilliant poem,
it is.
and most of it's right for the form. I mean, it's beautiful to read. It's very sound. Poetry is to be spoken, and it has to
Yes.
be
Oh,
enjoyed
definitely a
as a
spoken
spoken.
poem.
Always, reading poetry is not the same.
No.
It's you can your mind can only go so far. You need that to express the
And she's a
words.
spoken word poet, so she
Yeah,
writes
yeah,
to read. And Harry says, I love the Toddaid form used in that other one.
yeah. I mean, it works really well, really well. And Leslie just
No,
come
he's
in.
referring to that other poem, not the other form, but the other form, the
Yeah,
other form. That's he's referring to one of those. The G
right.
word, the
Yeah.
Gwaudodin. That's
Oh, the
not how
growl,
you say
yeah,
it.
growl dodging, the growl
Yeah,
dodging. Yeah, yeah. Well, I'm sure we'll play with that again because there is an alternative way of writing those as well. So we could play with that.
and Leslie says this is a very regional, and so I make sense of it when in New York City we cut words. Yeah,
Yeah. And that's why it's good we're talking across the Atlantic because
yes,
we use language differently.
very differently.
Yeah. So it's good because, yeah, what could appear incorrect one way is actually correct another way. So that's why we're going for the spoken, and we're just going through. Well, this is the form, and it's more where the syllable comes. Is the it's the 8th, 10th, floating 9th on these couplets. Yeah,
Yeah, Cal says dialect matters. Yeah, dialect matters. Uh,
we're
Harry
not on
says,
about Doctor Who now. What's the Daleks got to do with it?
right? Who needs to come back? Harry says Dan uses his Northern English
He does.
accent in his work for
Yeah,
rhymes to great effect. Yeah, he
because
does.
they speak very differently to the way we speak. Very differently.
It's interesting to read his poetry with his use of that because there is a much more musical flow to
Yes,
his
definitely.
words because he's
Yeah,
cutting those words and using words I've not heard of. But
that's right. They
I can see where it
using
comes in because
yeah,
they're these single syllable
yeah.
bits and
It's
bobs
pronounced.
that really make it flow more.
They do. Yeah, and they use dialect. Their own dialect words as well, which come in, and they have. Well, we all have our own words for different things, which can make it.
Yeah,
And for what's relatively a small island, we've got an awful load of dialects. We really have.
they'll
Yeah,
do.
yeah. You can go 30 miles and they speak a different dialect.
Which is so
Um,
wild to me that
yeah,
somewhere so small, because y'all are
yeah,
very
yeah.
small, have so many different dialects in
We
such a
do.
short distance from each other,
Yeah,
and they're distinctly different. It's not even just like, oh, it's slightly. No, some of them are so distinctly
they
different.
are. Yeah.
And that baffles me in a lot of
Because you can
ways.
go as you go further up north, you've got city areas but each city will speak entirely different. And
It's wild.
yeah, it's the same but very different, very markedly different. And I noticed Leslie come in and said, we need to stick fairly strictly to the form. Yeah, agree. The verbal side is important. We play the form with where the pauses are and where the syllables are, but we also want to enjoy the words. And I certainly wouldn't spoil a good poem forcing it to a scheme totally like that. Also to
Yeah.
be very rigid. As long as we keep as faithful as we can do to the form, it's great.
Yes. Um, and Harry says that it is great. It encourages people to read in a voice that isn't their own. Yes. And Leslie
Yes,
says, actually, dialect does not matter in the USA once it comes to this form. Kelsey, well, it does to a degree, Leslie, because depending upon how you speak can really change the syllable count sometimes, and it can change the rhyme drastically. Even sticking to strict form, it can still change it even in this country.
yeah,
Um,
very much so.
and Harry says people have a different way of speaking a few towns over in Somerset. Casper says I should point out that my Toddaid use of the word again sounds like again. Mike is going to have to talk to you about your Toddaid attempt because you got some things wrong too on the
Yeah,
form.
yeah,
Um, Harry
again.
says, I agree, Mike. As long as you can keep the essence of the form, you can take a license. And Cal says Southerners and Northerners speak differently, as does East Coast, West Coast. Yeah. Harry says, yes, Casper, again or again. I
Yes,
like the
well,
word again, again. I
yeah,
will do it again and again and
again,
again.
again. And Harry was saying about Somerset. It's Somerset. They speak S with a Z. It's Somerset.
Really?
Really? Yeah. I think probably not so much now as it used to be, but when it was you've got heavy dialect, yeah, Somerset.
I did
Um,
not know that.
yeah, and it changes. Yeah, it's quite remarkable how things change. And then if you look at Barry Holloway, um, he's Scottish. He's a Scotsman. He lives in Bristol, but when he writes with a Scottish brogue, no,
Oh, that's what's his name?
the Hollow,
The
yeah,
Sonic. Yeah.
the Hollow Man,
Yeah.
Barry Holloway. And then, there is a Sonic one, the Sonic guy who does Scottish sonnets.
Okay. Yeah,
Yeah,
because when he's
different
doing
people.
his sonnets and his brogue, it's like, oh, tell me some more sonnets. Because,
I'll destroy them with my southern accent.
yeah.
Yeah, I'll destroy them.
Um, Alyssa says, this is why I've been so hesitant to try these different forms. Ha! Oh, no, don't be
No,
hesitant. You'll do
always
fine.
do
You'll
them.
do fine.
Yeah, yeah. Because we always
Grace
talk about
says,
them, and I think it might pay when we do a form to have a chat for half an hour before the form goes live, just on how the form works.
probably.
Might be, yeah, it might be helpful. Just a little
Yeah.
video,
I
yeah,
was going to talk to you about that because since you can do lives real fast and you don't have to do the buffering, you could literally do a private live of you just explaining it
yeah,
or you explaining it to
yeah.
me and we could keep it private with no chat and then
Then
post
put it
it.
up. Might be a good
Yeah.
idea. Yeah, good idea.
And then Harry says, not as much now, but yes, Zummerzat cider.
Some
And
is that.
Casper
Yeah,
says, I understand that and accept it. Trying new things is fun. Yes,
yeah,
absolutely, Casper. And
that's
Cal
right.
says, yes, my house growing up was all kinds of mixed up because my dad was
Yeah,
from Cali, my mom was from Michigan, and we went to school in the country. Whew, Kels, that was all sorts of
yeah,
mixed up. And Harry says,
be interesting.
agreed, Casper. So,
Yes. So we have one more piece by Ash.
yes.
It's a single 4-line stanza or poem, and is the process of understanding letters. Phonetic authors are composing, sent to the fusiform gyrus transport, engaged to thwart mere existence. I love the fusiform gyrus, which is the big
Do you
central part
say
of the brain.
gyrus? I always say
Yeah,
gyrus.
gyrus, yeah, which is that part of your brain which controls thought. I think I don't know much about it. I'm no brain person.
I don't know.
Um, but I just thought she's dropped an interesting thing inside a poem.
Most of her poetry does.
Yeah, yeah, very,
Sometimes you
very
don't
thoughtful.
catch it, but most of her poetry
Yeah.
does.
So we've got a B rhyme of letters and authors, and an A rhyme of understanding and composing. And then the second couplet, we have a B rhyme of transport and thwart, which is interesting.
It'd work as a B rhyme though, wouldn't
Yeah,
it?
yeah, for me it works because when you're saying them, transport and thwart, there's enough of a
Yeah,
similarity there to do for a slide rhyme. Goes a bit wrong on the A rhyme
yeah,
because we've got Gyrus and we've got existence. So, but still, it's an interesting piece, interesting thought. And again, she drops in a bombshell.
yeah. It's a really nice quatrain.
Yep, it's a nice quatrain. It really is a nice quatrain.
And so that's all the Toddaid, isn't it?
So that brings us to the end of our Toddaid, and sort of that was and they're
So
fascinating, beautifully done.
So what we decided we were going to do, so that to give everybody a chance, if y'all want to, since several of the people that wrote the Toddaid are already in the room, we thought before we move on to the next form, now that everybody kind of has a better grasp of how to read the patterns and what the sensor are and everything that's required, would y'all like to do the Toddaid again, but open subject?
Yeah, yeah, go for it. Yeah,
A rewrite, yeah.
yeah,
So for the
yeah.
next form, it's a Toddaid, but it's open form. You can write it on any subject that you want to. Um, how do y'all feel about that? And Kelsey says, "Great job, everybody." Yes, absolutely great job.
Yeah, and for Casper, I'll be sending Casper a note tomorrow because they sent me down their poem to read,
Yeah, I saw
and
it.
I'll break it down for them, and I'll send them
Awesome.
a DM. Yeah,
Harry says yes. Well, then I think we should redo it, and we'll carry that over
yeah,
um into the next week. So
good idea.
um that'll go up on Wednesday, so y'all are gonna have plenty of time to do it, and that will give Mike time to do like another mini lesson, like you said beforehand, to put up, sort of thing. We can get ahead of all that
Yes, yeah, yeah. So we're all happy with the Todai. So I'll do a mini lesson on the next form or on the Todai.
on the tie-dye. If we're going to
Will
do the
do.
tie-dye, that's
Yeah.
what it should be on, I
Yes,
think.
yes, I think so. So yeah, we'd do a little mini. I'll do a little mini video, and then we can post it up.
Yeah, yeah, that'd be great.
But
So
everybody wrote brilliantly, um, and they all read beautifully. And this is really just getting bits in the right place because the rhyming was there, but sometimes you just misstepped.
yeah, and
And
and And that really is what it is. Everybody did really great. The
yeah,
only I would say the biggest flaws were the dividing words with the centra.
yes,
And I think people, now that they know, probably won't do that.
no, that's right.
Excited
Yeah,
for the next form? Yes, it's a secret. Shh.
no, no, no telling.
Kelsey says everybody has to start somewhere, and this is a safe place to learn.
Yeah,
Exactly, Kels. Um, and that's what's so great about this is we're able to tell each other, "Oh, you messed up here," but nobody is judging. Nobody is going, "Ooh, it's a bad poem," or "Ooh,
no,
you failed," or anything like that, because clearly every single one of these poems is brilliant.
yeah,
Just got the Tadai part
yeah.
wrong, and we learn
Tonight
from
from
it.
hell.
Yeah, we learn from it. We all learn from it, and then we move on.
We do,
And
yeah, we do all learn because once we stop learning, where's the point?
yeah,
Yeah, yeah. Because
yeah,
I think Harry messaged me and saying about sometimes on IG we get a lot of backpacking, being patted on the back all the time. I said that's the problem. Is
I hate
how can you grow if everyone says you're perfect? Because
It's
you've got to then know, no, this is not right, and I do need to push myself more. But
Yeah.
some people will sit back on that and say, well, if I'm great at what I do, then I'll carry on doing what I'm doing.
I don't think it's even that so much
No,
as if every single thing you do, you're being told, "You did awesome. You're on fire.
yeah,
This is great. I love this." If every single thing that you do is told that, then you don't have any kind of incentive to try harder. You don't
no,
see your writing accurately
you
after a
don't.
certain
No,
point. And if somebody dares to say something, eh,
yeah,
you'll
I've had
get
it.
quite offended because the
Yeah,
over complimenting,
yeah,
as Harry says, just numbs you
it does,
to it.
because I've been asked to read and inform. So you do read and inform, and it all goes deathly quiet
Yes.
because you've not said what they want to hear, and it's yeah, yeah,
Yeah. And that's what I
okay,
love about doing this, and this is what I love about our kitties too, is they want the constructive
yeah,
criticism.
that's right.
They're
It's
craving
constructive.
it, and
Yeah,
that is, oh,
yeah. Nobody's being judgmental. Nobody's saying it's wrong because the poems are lovely, are brilliant, they are really good. They're great to read. It's just we're looking at a form, and where this little bit missed or that little bit missed. Yeah,
yeah, but
that's cool.
it's a but and like Cal says, we need to do away with participation awards, and I agree
Yeah,
completely, but what I
yeah,
love is every single person in this room is going, yes. Like Richard says, I just ask Angelique when I need to be brought down to earth with a
a
crash. I
crash.
don't crash you, but I like it. Whatever. I like that everybody in this society is like, please tell me if I messed up
Yeah,
here, or does this read okay, or do you like this line? And they really want to know, does this line read weird? It reads weird to me, or something. You know what I mean? They're not
yeah.
asking for you for false compliments, and
No,
I love that.
yeah, that's
Um,
right. It's yeah, that's the way, and that's the way it should be because you know yourself. You write a poem and you read it, and you think, do you know what? That is not really. And you publish it, and you look at it again, and you're thinking, do you know what? That needs changing. There are things I don't like of that. It's not right.
yeah. Um, And they're saying a lot. Y'all can go, the chats are still on the lives if y'all want to come back and read them
Yeah,
after the live. Unlike Instagram, YouTube doesn't disappear the chat unless I tell it to. So, and I don't, so they'll
yeah.
still be there for you to read. Um, and Tommy is asking if there's visuals. If you go into the classroom, there's visuals there, Tommy. And I imagine he'll be making some more. Um,
No, very true. True, Leslie. Shakespeare is not understood because he was lucky. He wrote before the Great Vowel Shift. And when they codified the English language in the 1750s, yeah, they wiped away swathes of words we could use and ways of bringing words together.
are you saying that we use our hands a lot, Richard? Can oh, I'm feeling some hand motion coming on,
Yeah,
but I probably shouldn't do it.
no,
I wonder what, yeah, I probably shouldn't do it.
no,
Imagine it.
yeah,
Imagine it.
imagine it.
Um, but this was pretty amazing, I think. I mean, and it really
Yeah,
makes me happy that everybody's happy
that's
to
right.
get the
Yeah, yeah,
critique.
yeah. No, we're all chatting about this and we're
'Cause
all,
we were nervous about it.
yeah,
We were nervous
yeah,
about it. So
yeah, it's good. So
this
I will
is
do,
wonderful.
yeah, so I'll do a half hour chat on the Toddaid
Yeah. Okay.
and where things go and we take it from there.
Yes, so thank you so much, Mike,
No,
for
thank you.
coming on
Brilliant.
during your week,
Yeah,
and staying late with us,
yeah,
and we really deeply appreciate it.
yeah. And yeah, and always make words come alive because that's what they are. That's what they're for.
I know. Yeah.
Enjoy language. Enjoy language. Yeah,
Yes, enjoy the language,
yeah.
and thank you guys for coming in for the
Thank you very
classroom,
much.
and we're about to start right back up, and when we start back up, we are going to be going into, are you ready, Harry? Are we going into the zombie nursery
Zombie
rhyme
land.
songs? Or are we going into the odes? Which are we doing?
Oh, please do, Cal. Please do.
Oh, I hope you do, Kels.
Yeah,
Zombies it is. So are you
zombies.
sticking around for zombies, Mike? You want to hear Harry sing?
Oh, yeah, we'll listen to some zombies. Zombies to lull me to sleep.
Zombies will just conk
Yeah,
your brain right out. All right. Well, thank you guys for coming. We will be right back. Thank you so much, Mike.
thank you. See you
Always
later.
a pleasure
Bye.
and see you in a bit.
Yeah, bye.
Bye.